Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to the Chicago Cubs. We are, we're moving from Season 3 into Season 4. I am still absolutely filthy that we didn't at least get a chance to play off for the wildcard spot, having finished the same record as the Nationals and the Padres. But it's done now. I'm recording this before the last episode goes out. I had to record it a little bit earlier. So I don't know if there's a reason for that as of yet. Hopefully there isn't. If it's just the game messing up, then I will be a little bit dirty about it. But if it's the rules and we just weren't good enough, we stuffed it up ourselves, obviously. But we're not going to worry about that this episode. We are going to look forward. We're going to build a team. We're going to strengthen. I think we need to improve our starting pitching. But before we do any of that, we need to get to our end of season awards. So let's go and do that. When we come back, we'll find out who won the World Series, and it better not be the Padres or the Nationals. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Chicago Cubs end of season awards. Thank you everybody. Thank you Chicago. Thank you so much. Thank you and welcome to our end of season awards. A season that I still don't understand why it finished. Some stupid tiebreak rule, but I guess we just need to win more games, don't we? But the boys put up a really good effort this season, a first full season under the Crab regime. So hopefully next season, we just need to go one game better than this year, don't we? Postseason it is next year, boys, but this year, well done. Well done. First award this evening is for the pitcher with the most wins, and this guy came in at the start of the year. We wanted him to run the bullpen, one at the starting rotation, I should say even, and he did it. 15 wins, led the team. Well done, Julio Urias. Next up tonight, it is the award for the highest batting average. And, well, when I was picking out who was going to be the stars with the bat for us this season, I hoped this guy would have a great year. I didn't expect him to do this. A batting average of .314, right up there with anybody in the National League. Congratulations, James Triantos. The next award is the Golden Bullseye, awarded to the player hit most by pitchers this season. And this guy, he's such a nice young man. I don't know why pitchers don't like him, but he got hit 8 times, led the team. Congratulations, Pete Crow Armstrong. The next award is the Golden Anchor, awarded to the man who drags us down by hitting into the most double plays. And this guy, well, he had a slow start to the year, came good at the end, but I suspect a lot of his damage was done earlier on in the year. And please don't do it again next year. 20 double plays he hit into. Honestly, I said it before, I'll say it again. Just strike out. We're better off for it. Anyway, the Golden Anchor goes to Vlad Jr. The next award is the Golden Boot, awarded to the pitcher who has issued the most walks. And I've got to say, I mean, this really shouldn't be given out. These are good numbers. 47 was the best we could do. Come on, guys. At least try. That's really, really good. Anyway, congratulations to River San Martin. Next up, it is the Golden Glasses, awarded to the batter who has struck out the most. And, well, this guy, I was hoping, maybe not MVP season, but certainly I was hoping he'd be an all-star. And, well, he did strike out. As good as anybody, to be fair to him. 155 this season. Congratulations, Cody Bellinger. The next award is the Golden K, awarded to the pitcher with the most strikeouts. And, well, as we've seen this guy already up tonight, he did exactly what we wanted him to do this season. Led the team in the categories that matter. 168 strikeouts. Congratulations, Julio Urias. The next award is the Golden Broom, awarded to the player who sweeps clean the bases, the man with the most RBIs. And this guy, he didn't just lead the team, he led the National League for most of the season. Came up just short in the end, I believe, but 115 RBIs. Well done. Congratulations, William McQuaid. Now it's time to acknowledge the pitcher with the best ERA, and when we got this guy from Detroit, I was kind of looking at him to be a starting pitcher, but sort of thought he might end up as just doing a job for us in the bullpen. Well, what a job he did for us in the bullpen. An EPA? I'd love one, thank you, but an ERA even of 1.82. Congratulations, Brant Herter. Next up, it is the award for the most home runs, and again, right up there in the National League all season long. Just a wonderful, wonderful person. It's everybody's favourite Japanese hitter, 37 home runs. Congratulations, William McQuaid. Now it's time to acknowledge the horse's ass for this season's worst player. And when you get paid $27 million a season, we expect you to be, you know, certainly an all-star at a minimum, MVP candidate at, on a good year. We don't expect you to be batting worse than Thomas Nido. No offense, Thomas. So congratulations. The horse's ass this year is the pathetic Dansby Swanson. And now it's time to acknowledge this season's best pitcher. Now, there is a formula we use to determine this, and that, along with a list of all tonight's winners, is listed down in the description of the video below. So in third place, with a score of 31.97, it is Carlos Vargas, the closer. In second place, with a score of 37.78, it is Julio Urias. But the winner, such an underrated man of the starting rotation this season, with a score of 43.15. 100% deserves this. Congratulations, Jack Perkins. Now it's time to acknowledge this season's best hitter. And again, the formula we use to determine this is down in the description of the video below. But in third place, with a score of 51.61, it is the slow starting, fast finishing Vlad Jr. In second place, with a score of 61.71, it is good old Jimmy Triantos. But the winner, and I think we all know who it is, only just score of 65.34, just 3 or 4 points in it. But congratulations, William McQuaid. And now it is time for the big one, this season's Golden All-Star, our MVP, as voted by you watching at home. And I want to thank everybody who took the time to nominate and then vote for our MVP of the season. And with 67% of the vote, it is perhaps no surprise the MVP is William McQuaid. Well done, well done. Congratulations to William and the rest of our winners tonight. It's been a season of just what-ifs. Just annoying what-ifs, isn't it? A tiebreaker is what kept us out of the playoffs this season. Will be better next year, I'm sure of it. Wrigley Field will be seeing postseason baseball, or Bruce Crab will be deep fried. But enjoy your rest of your evening. Enjoy your off season. I'll see you back at Wrigley next season. And yeah, just thank you very much, Chicago. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. From the battered Bruce. Alright, so there we go, end of season awards done for the year, and the World Series champions are the Minnesota Twins. The Cardinals are the defeated team in the World Series, so, you know, we've got the best team in the National League in our division. That's a little bit tough, isn't it? But thankfully, the Nationals and the Padres both got knocked out in the Wild Card Series, so perhaps we didn't miss out on too much there. Now, let's go and have a quick look at things that are happening. And the first of those things is that Urias had a player option year, which he has decided to void, so he will be going to free agency, and unfortunately isn't interested in renegotiating with us. So we're back to basically square one now in terms of a starting rotation. Now we do have a decision to make on David Botte. Now apparently he's on 7.6 million. I didn't even know he was in. He's in AA on 7 million. That's Suzuki sort of money, isn't it? We will be voiding that. Thank you very much. Season goals, let's have a quick look here. We definitely improved, so for the most part we've done okay, and yeah, well, it is what it is, isn't it? Next year, play 500, improve on-base percentage, increase attendance, have a final balance of 26 million. I don't understand why they don't just adjust the budgets to make sure we have that. Bring more of our drafted players into the team. We're getting to the point now where a few of them might be ready to come up, so we will hopefully see that. Improve your record in extra inning games. Yeah, no kidding. And keep building up in order to reach playoffs in the next 2 seasons. We were so close this year, weren't we? It would be a real shame if we couldn't do it next season, I think. We'll check the budgets in just a second. So a staff member has retired. That is the manager of the Iowa Cubs. So we need a new manager there. We're trying to change things up. I thought I offered you a contract. Oh, no, I didn't offer you a contract, did I? So I need... Oops, the new pitching coach, scouting director, assistant GM, and a third base coach. But that's okay. That's all for the most part. That's what we wanted. I wasn't sure about the pitching coach, and in the end, it looks like I've had the decision made for me. Off-season begins. Arbitration period begins. Let's have a look and see what we're doing here. So Chris Clark, 1.4 million as a starting player. That's not too bad. Croquet, I think I'm okay with him. I'd like to bring him back in for next season. He just had a bit of an off period. San Martin, okay. Bednar, okay. Estrada, I mean, he's got a serious injury, but he would be tradable. This guy can go because we don't use him and he's a bit rubbish anyway. Leiter Jr., no, mate, you're 34. I'm going to just let you go, I think. You can go to free agency. Ethan Roberts was happy with him this season. Cole Sands has done well for us. Brandon Hughes, yeah, we'll think about that. He's been semi-reliable, just not this year, perhaps. Vargas, yes. Amaya, I'm thinking we'll probably have to keep him, but we might even trade him. I think we've got other catchers that are around. Madrigal, we didn't use him this year that much. He was very much a backup, and I don't think I want to pay 3.2 million for a backup. We know that he's leaving. Rojas is just he so much reminds me of, is it Garcia we had at the Tigers, where he is just very much just there every season. I don't think we're ever actually going to replace him. And Kalanick can stay as well because he was solid enough for us this past season. So that is arbitration. We'll get a qualifying offer in for this guy, and then we'll get a compensation of some sort of description of. Yep, I don't understand it, but we'll do it anyway because it's less money than he's on. So we'll come out on top, even if he does want to accept that. All right, so that's arbitration. Let's have a look at our budget. And of course, this is always affected by arbitration, isn't it? But 14 million for now, and 19 million for extensions. Now, we do still have, I'll show you the salaries. Unfortunately, we did get stuck with all of Vlad's extension, which we shouldn't have done because it was a 50% thing. But anyway, we're still paying 16 million for Talon and 9 million for Suzuki. That will end next season. So that's going to be a big chunk, which will more than cover Vlad's contract, to be honest. Yeah, so yeah, the 7 million for Botte is gone as well. Mancini's up next year. We will probably let him go. So there is a lot of money that's going to be freed up. The other one is Dansby Swanson. What do we do with him? 27 million for a player who doesn't bat that well is seemingly a lot of money. But anyway, let's see what we can do here and hopefully come up with a winning team. Okay, we are back for some Major League Baseball awards, starting with the Golden Glove winners. So these are it for the American League. Trevino, we had him at somewhere at the Tigers, I think. So there we go there. And in the National League, no Golden Gloves for our Cubs, which is disappointing, particularly in center field. I thought Crow Armstrong would be every chance. Let's check reliever of the year. So in the American League, it's Andreas Munez of the Mariners that gets the gong. Kikuchi is up there, and Leaky Fawcett, of course, he's otherwise known as, and it is Maldonado of the Giants that gets it in our league, and again, there is no Cubs there. Next up is the Platinum Sticks. Surely we've got one or two in that one. So over in the American League, we can see everybody there. Trevor Story, who I have a bit of a storied past, you could say, with. Riley Green as well at the Tigers. But in the National League, do we have anybody? No, surely we've got McQuaid in there. We do. Designated hitter William McQuaid. So well done to him. He has picked up the Silver Slugger. That's his second one, I believe, too, isn't it? Yeah. So excellent work, mate. 2 years in a row, All-Star as well. We just need to get him that MVP now, don't we? Or a Major League, or that was quite a World Series ring. Rookie of the Year is up next. So it's Alex Ramirez of the Tigers that wins it in the American League. Is he okay, you'd say, nothing particularly special. And Gonzalez of the Reds that wins it in our league, and we didn't have anybody there. Did we? I'm not sure if we had any out-and-out rookies this year. Anyway, next up is Rookie of the Year. Try Manager of the Year. Can we get Crab? Doubt it. All right, so the American League Manager of the Year goes to Rocky Badelli of, I'm assuming, the Minnesota Twins. Yes, and in our league, it is the San Francisco Giants manager, Gabe Kapler. All right, we have the Cy Young up next. I tell you what, Jack Perkins, if he's not in the voting at all, I'll be a little bit disappointed, but he's certainly not going to win it. So over in the American League, it is Luis Castillo of the Mariners that wins it. Do we recognize any former... Oh, Justin Steele's in there. Why are they always good when they leave me? And the National League, it is Kyle Wright of the Braves that wins it, and we don't have anybody. I'm disappointed for Jack Perkins. He was brilliant this year, but obviously not Not respected. All right, it is MVP time. McQuaid is an outside chance. I just don't think he did quite enough, perhaps. So in the American League, it is Julio Rodriguez of the Mariners. Had a good year, didn't they? We're ahead of Riley Green, Trevor Story, and Devers. We can see the rest of them there. Over in our league, and it went to Shohei Ohtani, and McQuaid was involved, but yeah, like I suspected, just didn't quite do enough. But that's okay. We'll get him next year, mate. So that is all the Major League Baseball awards. So free agency is going to be just around the corner, and we'll see what sort of damage we can get done there. All right, so we have some arbitration hearings. Now, Urias is going to be a free agent, so that's disappointing, obviously. Chris Clark got 1.6 as a starting pitcher. That's not too bad, is it? We can live with that. Ethan Roberts got 1.8, so that's, again, more than what we offered. Amaya got 1.5, which is what we offered him. San Martin got 1.4, which is not too bad. Bednar, 7.6 is getting to be a fair bit for a bullpenner, but we'll see how we go there. Estrada 1.1, which is fine. Of course, he had a serious long-term injury, so we'll see what happens when he comes back. Rojas got just under 6 or just over 6.5 million, which is okay. Cole Sands got 3.1, which is again getting a little expensive. Vargas just under 4 million, which is a little bit more than what we had ideally wanted him to get. Kalanick 1.9. He showed signs this season that he might be going to make the grade for us. Madrigal, I meant to trade him, but we'll see. We'll try that now. Oh, Croquet. 4 million is too much for you, mate, because you haven't done it for us. So we might have to look to trade him. And Brendan Hughes, another one that's gone in the player's favour. So we might need to look at about trading him as well. So that's not going to plan at all for us. Let's see what happens when free agency hits. All right, so we have our international amateur free agents. Now, there is one star, which is this guy, Juan Maldonado. Now, he's he's an outfielder. I would love to sign him, but he wants 32.8 million, which is a lot, and he's 31. So we're certainly not looking at a long-term signing there. We'll see what we can do, but I suspect that's going to be outside of what we're able to do with the big contract Vlad is on. Now, two that do interest me here, though, a second baseman. Decent defensive players. Now, this guy wants 3.8, which seems reasonable. He's only 26, so again, we're looking at someone that could be around for the longer term. What I don't like here, puts out the bare minimum effort and is slow to learn, so that's maybe not a great one. But if we go down, we have a Japanese player here, similar sort of, well, probably better defensive rating. Not as good with the bat. Always gives 110% though, and is willing to do a minor league deal potentially. So that, I think, is a little bit better. So if I'm looking for backup, defensive backup for Kevin Made, so that, like, we saw what happened this year when he was injured, and we just, the ground ball pitcher thing, we need to have those good defensive players. He should have a decent on-base percentage with avoid strikeouts at that level. So yeah, as a backup, as a minor league contract, there's a lot to like about that, I think. But let's have a look at some of the headline free agents here. Now, we are in the market for a starting pitcher. So Severino, Max Fried would be a decent option, wouldn't he? What's he want? 26 million. So that's roughly what we've given up from losing Urias. And you look at those gold gloves as well. So that, excuse me, might be one. So I'm losing my voice here, apparently. Aaron Nola is a long-term injury. I'm not going to risk big money on him. Diaz, well, we don't need that sort of a pitcher, do we? So leave this with me. We're going to have a look. We're going to try and trade off some of the scraps, let's say. And we'll see what we're left with and what we can do. Yes, Mr. Ricketts, Urias has gone to free agency. No, he refuses to negotiate with me. Correct. Yes, I did trade club captain Madrigal. What did I get in? We got in a minor league contract. No, sir. No one has come in. How are we looking for next season? Worse. So much worse. Alright, so Urias has officially left us 13 million, so he went for less. He's taken 10 million off his salary, so good move, mate. Yeah, so that's a bit of a pain in the backside. He refused to negotiate. He doesn't like crabs, so there's not much we can do about that unless we sack Crab, but I don't think that's happening. And the other thing that we've done is we have traded the dressing room captain, Nick Madrigal, to the Mets. So, I mean, he wasn't really playing for us, to be honest, so it saves us 2.3 million. The player we got for him was this guy, Augustine Ruiz. It was very much just trying to get rid of, get a minor league contract in place of him. He's a useful-ish outfielder. He'll play AAA, I would imagine. We might call him in for spring training, but I doubt very much we'll see anything of him in the majors. So, yeah, so far we are much weaker for the off-season, but maybe we'll have a good Rule 5 draft or something. All right, we have done a trade. We have sent Trey Mancini to the Mets, so that's him off. He's a free agent end of this year anyway. He wasn't particularly good last year. I sort of re-signed him on the back of being the best player in baseball for 2 months at the end of the first season, and he's done little to nothing since. So he goes to the Mets. Basically, we got nothing back. We got 2 crappy pitchers. Maybe, you know, they'll go into our one of our youth teams and our farm teams, and one of our coaches will work their magic and we'll end up with another Montano, but I suspect it'll just be a case of we gave up Mancini salary, basically. Let's hope that's what happens. All right, it is Rule 5 draft time, but before we get to that, we've done a couple of extra trades, just getting rid of players that aren't going to really make it for us. So Matt Mervis, I had high hopes for him at the start, but didn't quite ever work out. So he has gone off to Kansas City, and in replace for him, we've got a starting pitcher. Now, this guy, a few trades on our shopping plays around this guy kept coming up, and he was tempting me. When Mervis came up for Mervis, I thought, you know what, we're going to go get him. Starting pitcher, really good movement, so he fits into our ground ball, you know, the sort of philosophy that we're going with the good defensive middle infielders. He's not a bad personality, good defensive pitcher, as well. And yeah, I think he will do okay. Now, his career to date suggests that he is just very much, average. If we go to basic pitching stats, this is what we want. Yeah, he's very much sort of, average starting pitcher. He's had the more he starts, he had 19 starts last season, ERA of sort of 409. So, you know, his ERA plus was in the over 100. So there's enough there to think that he could work with the right infield behind him. He had batting average there, the BAPIP or whatever it's called, was 305. So hopefully with our infield behind him, that'll go down a little bit. And we'll see what we get. So hopefully he's going to work out for us. Now, the other trade that we've done, I mean, who am I talking about BAPIP? I've changed, haven't I? So the other trade we've done, Brandon Hughes has gone off to the Cincinnati Reds. Now, he was decent for us. He was good for us first season, first 2 seasons even. Last year was not great. He's just one of those guys. He's just very average. He's a fly ball pitcher as well, which doesn't really fit into what we're trying to do. So we sent him off to Cincinnati, so no doubt he'll come back and haunt us. And the player we've got in place of him is another left armer, but this guy it reminds me very, very much of sort of like a left-armed Carlos Vargas, to be honest. Really, really good movement. He is 30, so he's a little bit older. He's a free agent end of the year, but hopefully we'll be able to convince him he stays if he does well. And left arm, I like him. I already like him. Let's hope he does well for us. Now, his career to date, we can see it here. Career ERA of 345. He has 122 saves to his name. He's spent most of his time at Tampa and the Phillies, only at Cincinnati for sort of part of last season. And let's hope that he does well. I think we've upgraded. We've definitely upgraded on Brandon Hughes there. I'm almost positive. All right, let's have a look at this Rule 5 draft. All right, now if we have a look at the Rule 5 draft pool here, I've just got it sorted to pictures right now because that's really what we're looking to get. I mean, it's a relatively strong pool. There is one guy here that is really taking my interest, though. Where'd he go? It's Anthony Molina. He looks like a very, very solid starting pitcher. He's rated as a reliever right now, so even in the bullpen, he should do okay. 23. No bad personality, not a good personality either, but a bit of a nothing personality. So hopefully he'll be around for us because I think he's the one that I would like to add to our organization. If he doesn't work out, then obviously he'll just go straight back. So let's see if he's going to be around for us. All right, so it is our pick, and I think he should still be here. Where are you, mate? Where are you? Stephen Brolt, we had him for a while there. Has he been picked up? No, here he is here. Here he is here. That's absolutely fine. So we'll go and welcome him in. You can be a Major League Baseballer, mate. And I don't think there's going to be anybody else that we want. We'll just have a quick look here. The only other player that I thought maybe... actually, he's one of ours. Ideally, I didn't want to lose him. Though he's got this far, so hopefully... let's just put you on the second man roster, the secondary roster now, just to make sure of that. This was the other guy that half caught my attention. You know what? If it doesn't work out, then we just send him back, don't we? So let's go and take him as well. And that will just about be us then, I would imagine. So people like that one. All right, so that's the Rule 5 draft done. It's not looking great for next season, but we just need to. Solid pitching will get it done for us. All right, a couple of signees to introduce you to. The first is our international amateur free agent, Daniel Perdomo, a very bad defensive third baseman that could be a very, very good hitter, potentially a designated hitter even, but he's only 17, so we'll wait and see what we get out of him. The other 2 players we've got to introduce you to We did get our Japanese second baseman in the end. We had to give him, which is absolutely fine, a minor league deal with a major league option, which is kind of what a minor league contract is anyway, I always think. So he's in as a little bit of cover now for Kevin Maid. If he was to get injured again, he could probably get away with being a short. No, he doesn't have a good enough arm to be a shortstop, does he? He's just a second baseman, but that's absolutely fine. And the other player that we've signed, again on a minor league contract with a major league option, is Griffin Canning. Now, we've had him somewhere before. I recognize the name, a starting pitcher. He'll start in AAA. Well, he'll start in spring training. We'll see how he goes. But we'll see what happens. He could be, he's the sort of player that as a free agent is worth signing. And if he comes off, great. If he doesn't, then he'll just play in the minors, won't he? At 29, yeah, he's probably not going to get much better, but you never do know, do you? We have breaking news out of Chicago as Cubs GM Aussie has traded for starting pitcher Lance McCullers Jr., sending some no-hoper from High A the other way. Now to soccer, where Icelandic champions Grindavik. So a potentially huge move we've done here. Lance McCullers Jr. has joined us. Now he is a free agent into this year. Now it says he's on 17 million, but don't panic, we're not actually paying that phone. So if you go and have a look at his contract here, Houston is retaining 75% of his salary, and we actually traded for him from Philadelphia. So they obviously just wanted to get rid of him. They sent him to Philly. We've taken him on from Philly, and we're paying about $4 million, which is absolutely brilliant. So to get this starting pitcher for $4 million is huge. And again, the reason we've done this is that he is absolutely brilliant, a ground ball pitcher. Again, I'm trying to, I feel like I'm getting too smart for my own good here. But we've got the good defensive middle infielders. We've got high movement ground ball pitchers. We're going to have a theme this season, and we're just going to go all in on that. And then when it comes to the bullpen, we'll go the other way and just try and strike everybody out. So that's the plan. But yeah, we'll see how he goes. I'm hoping he's going to do well, and if he does do well, we can try and keep him. If he doesn't, it's a free agent. It's not costing us too much, and on he can go. Now, the player we gave up, it was nobody really. It was this guy. It was Jacob Wenzel. He is a power hitter. He's okay in right field. He was playing high A for us and not particularly well. So he's 25. It was a bit of he's a no-hoper, really. So, with all due respect, Jacob. So yeah, I think that has worked out massively for us. Very, very pleased. All right, we are at spring training, which brings us to the end of the episode, of course. Now, let's have a quick look at how I view our team going into the season. Now, this batting order could change. The designated hitter will in all likelihood be Triantos, but we're going to have a look at Jesse Franklin. He has a lot of power. He should be a lot better than we've shown. You can see in Iowa last year, only batted .220 as well. So we're going to give him a chance, see how he goes. Pete Crow Armstrong, though, in center field. Then we've got Vlad at first base. We've got McQuaid, designated hitting or left field. He'll do one or the other. Swanson will be the shortstop. We've got Nido, the catcher. Kevin Maid at second base. Of course, Maid and Swanson so key to what we want to do with our pitching staff. Rojas at third base and Bellinger in right field. So that's kind of, as I said, batting order, it will change, but that's kind of how I'm looking at things there. In terms of the starting rotation, McCullers Jr. Will probably be the number one guy. Perkins was brilliant for us last year, so he keeps his spot. Zerpa, let's hope we get big things from him. I'm reasonably hopeful anyway that if everything goes to my plan, then he will be good. Clark, who was not great last year, but we can see there he had a 3.48 ERA and a 3.60 ERA the two previous seasons. We're hoping we're going to go back to that. He's only 27, so it's not like he's past it. Hopefully just a bad year. Number 5 startup, very much up for grabs. Molina, who we got on the Rule 5 draft, is going to get a first chance in spring training to make that his position, and then we'll just kind of go from there. Bullpen, obviously, everything's up for grabs in spring training, so I'll confirm that for you next episode when we come back for opening day, which this season is going to be, it's usually in April, against the Brewers. So away to Milwaukee, and let's hope that we get a very, very good spring training under our belt, no injuries, and we go into that red hot and firing. So let me know what you think of the team. Ideally, I would have liked to strengthen the pitching. I think losing Urias was a bit of a blow. I wasn't necessarily expecting that. I thought he would want to stay with us, given that we were so close to the postseason as well. But the problem is Bruce Crabb, and he actually might be a little bit of a problem. Because if we go to team chemistry, if we look at bad relationships here, there's a few of them. Now, if these guys don't want to, any of them want to re-sign with us because of him, well, there's an easy fix, isn't there? And that is crab cakes. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that is slightly problematic. But anyway, that's how we're shaping up going into spring training. Let's see how we are after it. Let me know how you think we've done. As I said, ideally I would have liked to get another starting pitcher in. I feel like McCullens Jr. has just kind of we've just kind of broken maybe even on that, given that I think his pitching style will suit us. But overall, I'm not completely convinced we have. I think we have strengthened it a little bit, to be fair, but have we strengthened it enough to get to the postseason? Well, we'll start and find out next time, won't we? Take care.